Hey guys, in this video we are going to take a look at Heaven and Earth Tarot by Jack Sephiroth and Jamie Elford. This is the kit edition where you get a proper full guidebook that is colored with details of each card's in depth. It's a 78 colored cards as well from the publishing company Lo Socorabio, one of my favorite companies and go-to for most of my tarot decks. Now I've had these for a good week now. I really am enjoying them. This is what the box overall will look like by the sides around. Now like I said, there's two sort of like versions. You've got the kit version and then you've got the regular version where cards are exactly the same, but it's the booklet. So if you want more meanings or depth and details on the cards, I would go for this edition rather than the other one, where it's kind of like their regular normal way their cards tend to come with this kind of little white booklet that's quite limited in terms of information on the cards, or it will be a decent one, but again information on the cards are quite limited. So if you want the full thing, this is the one that I would recommend that you get. So this is what the box overall look like. Very strong and sturdy box. It's got this magnetic latch to it by the side, so it makes it quite fairly nice and secure. When you do open it up, you get sort of like by the side there the nice little triangular design, pentagram design all in gray of what the cards at the back will look like, and then you get the massive guidebook there. It's easy to take out because there's this nice little gap on top there. Again, there's quite a lot of information, so if this is what you want, then again go for the kit. And then you've got the cards there. You're presented with the cards and this nice little thread for you to easily sort of like pull your cards out. Now separately you can get the pouch, and this is what I had to do. I've had it for quite some time. I was just waiting for the cards. It's a very nice design. It's the design of the full card. It's silk, very nice quality overall, and this is what it looks like inside. So it's, you know, very sort of comfortable for your card. There's also plenty of room, so you could literally fit a full book and the cards in there. Again, this is what it looks like at the back, so I'm going to show you with the book fully in, and also the cards itself. So you know, you could see it there. You might not close it fully, but at least you know you have that option there. And this is what the back of the cards look like. You've got a bunch of pentagrams and it's got this kind of like shaded grey color towards it at the back. It looks quite fairly nice. One thing I would say is the card are laminated. They are on the gloss side overall. Size wise, it's a normal typical tarot size. Cards are quite fairly thin. But overall they're not really flimsy. I think that the quality stock wise is pretty good. They feel somewhat weird a little bit at first, but I've gotten used to them. So overall quality, I think it's pretty good, and most likely these cards will last you a very long time to come. So they're quite fairly sturdy. So this is what it will look like closely at the back. So you get a closer look at the design, and you can see how reflective they are. They are very reflective, I have to say. But it's quite fairly simple and fairly nice. So great feeling cards, very easy to shuffle with. They're not always slipping away, so they've got this kind of good sense of control towards them. And this is what it will look like inside of the cards themselves. So you can see how laminated it is overall. So like I said, the size, the normal, your regular tarot size, very comfortable in the hands, the whole cards, very nice feeling towards them, very easy to shuffle. So whatever kind of shuffle you use, there won't be any problem. This is what it looks like. It's normal edged in plain when you get it. And what I've done with my one for the last week or so is I've edged mine gray to kind of match exactly the theme at the back of the card, and it looks awesome. So we're going to take a look at the cards, look at our major first. In terms of what you get in the book, that will be at the very end of the video. So we're going to take a look at our cards. I'm going to pretty much give you an overview of the cards, and I'm going to zoom in to each individual deck. I'll have to say, up front, I am impressed overall with this deck. It's very accurate in terms of the symbolisms. Imagery is very faithful to the traditional Waite-Smith deck, and it doesn't miss any sort of like the needed details, where you have everything that you would need to know about the cards is presented in the cards themselves. There's just like so much information. You've got the planetary zodiac association on the cards. You got the elementals. You got the sephiroth in which each cards belongs. The numerals, the Hebrew letters, the names of the cards. There's a lot. There's the alchemic symbols as well. So you're packed with so much information and certain meanings as well that you would find on some of the cards in this deck. So there's not a lot of other decks out there that I'm aware of where they provide such immense information in presented in within the deck itself. Overall, the artwork is breathtaking. Each cards has this remarkable illustrations, as you could see, very very accurate. I've been very impressed with this deck, so it's one where you won't be disappointed at all. Everything is just the way it's supposed to be, but a lot more in depth. Now, the included book gives tremendous insight into the meanings of each of these cards as well. It really does have that mythological grandeur, this magnificence to them, the presence of so much wisdom in these cards. The balance of the material spiritual world is highlighted, like you'll have it here in the Lovers card. You've got the heavenly aspect would be that would be like the spiritual part of it, and then you've got the earthly aspect of it, of the cards. It's always kind of highlighted in each and particular one of this deck. So you will have the numbers on top of the cards, and then you'll have the keywords at the very bottom. Sometimes the wording will be like the card name, like you have here, the Hermit. On other times, it will refer to like the keyword will be it's all about willpower. On the same time, if you see within the brackets, you have the elements, and then you also have the sort of Hebrew letters as well. Um, Hebrew sort of like meaning as well to this deck. The cards are very powerful. So much wisdom, symbolism. You got the powerful, the weak, success, struggle. There's just so much embedded within these cards, and the overall imagery just looks absolutely fantastic. There's just so much. Here's our next free card. We've got the Hangman, Death card, Temperance, and then we've got the Devil, the Tower card, and the Star card. I guess if there is any little negatives, it will be how the wording sometimes is not that clear. You have to really, you know, properly look at them on some occasion. You could see it says the Hangman, so it's quite fairly clear death. But when we go into our major arcanas and we have a look at them, you'll notice that sometimes it's not easy to read. I love the Temperance card, the blending and mix taking place of emotions and thoughts. And then we have the Devil card, clearly showing who's in control. Saturn symbol, the pentagram on top there, goat, half goat, and man. We've got our Tower card. The Lightning has the face of a dragon, long, bright, sharp. It's also very cloudy, so the indication of maybe a storm coming. Two people jumping out on this edge. The Star card, woman looks content. You've got 7 astrological planets on top of her. Aquarius, Saturn, and Uranus. Gorgeous card. The Death card as well looks very nice. Here are our last major cards: Moon, Sun, Judgment, and the World. The moon has this path that you could clearly see going way back into the mountains. You have elements of shadows been highlighted as well in that card. And then we've got our judgment card there, angel blown of the horn. So yeah, here on the moon you could see like the path going way back into the mountain. You've got aspects of the shadow as well on the two sort of like towers there, littered up. You've got a beetle there coming up, surprises. Our sun star, the horse seems to be going very fast. You got all of the zodiac signs there surrounding the sun as well. Sunflower, indication of abundance. People rising up. It's as though they're praising the angel blowing of the horn with a flag of the Red Cross. So I guess the coming of together or something coming to an end. And then we have lastly the world card. And you've got four faces that is coming out of the clouds. They're facing each other. It's as though they're coming together on some aspect. And you got the woman in the middle there holding two wands that are littered up. So that was the last of our majors. Now we're going to look at our suits. We'll begin with the cups first. I'll kind of skim over each one and then I'll zoom in individually to each and every single particular cards. So on this one with the suits, you will have the name of the card and also the wording on some occasion. Like here we've got the Ace of Cups, but rather than the Two of Cups, you will have the keyword, which is love. So we're looking at the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, you have water that is pouring out into the pond, out of the chalice, the dove hovering. Emotional source is the key word for that one. Two of Cups, the key word is love, two lovers embracing each other, and then you have a stream of water of either side of them. So an indication of or highlighting of spiritual love. We have Three of Cups, abundance, keyword, celebration, three women raising their cups high up in the air, dancing, celebrating the bounty or the abundance that they've received. Our next two card is the Four of Cups and the Five of Cups. For the Four of Cups, we have the keyword as blended pleasure. So you got this guy sitting against a tree trunk, not seeing the hand of the fourth cup presenting itself, so he's looking bored overall, not really satisfied. We've got our Five of Cups, and the keyword is lost in pleasure. A man looking depressed and not looking ahead at the city, nor the bridge for him to cross. So deep in the moment of loss and not seeing what is good in the present. Our next three cards, we've got the Six of Cups, Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. Six of Cups, keyword is pleasure. We've got two women enjoying their time in what could be a greenhouse of plants filled with cups. The sun there is beaming from the outside. They look relaxed, they look satisfied. Seven of Cups, you've got keyword illusionary success. So the woman is ready to choose from the various options available to her. So you've got different options in the cup. So temptation overall. The Eight of Cups, abandoned success is the key word. Leaving behind the nicely arranged cups and choosing to walk another path. The moon is shining there. There is a face in the moon and her path is kind of littered up. We've got the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups. The Nine of Cups, keyword is material happiness. So you got fountains of cups flowing there. Beautiful image showing off the material happiness and contentment floating in the center there, and above the pool of water from where the fountain is just flowing out. The Ten of Cups, perfect success is the key word. Family together in pure happiness, sense of completion, perfect partner, perfect family, perfect location. We go to our court cards. We've got the Princess of Cups, and then we've got the Knight of Cups. The Princess of Cup has so much emotion going on around her. You've got like the dolphin there. You've got the so many things going on. You've got the swan. So much feeling, so much motion, activity taking place in that one. The Knight of Cups, our knight on the other hand here seems more calm and he's seen. He seems a lot more relaxed in control, sitting on the horse. Even the movement of the horse is very slow and the sea looks calm as well. So he knows exactly where he's headed. We've got the Queen and our King of Cups. So sitting on a dark throne in what seems like the middle of the sea or water. The queen seems confident. She seems to be connected to the creatures near her. So a sign of empathy, spiritual connection. Our king, wow, sitting in his chariot and cup close to his chest, yet you also have this kind of snake there that's looking dead at him, and you've got the powerful eagle. So a powerful king that can take the snake's bite. He's showing no fear overall. So those were very nice cups. We move on to our wands. This is what our wands look like. Again, there's so much emotion, so much going on in the imagery. First cards, we've got the Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, and Three of Wands. Again, you'll have keywords sometimes, and other times you'll have the actual name of the card. So we've got the Ace of Wands, creative source is the keyword, a hand emerging from the clouds, fiery wand, and you've got the clouds as well in flame. So the spark of creation or creativity. We've got the Two of Wands, the minion. So the man's looking out from the castle wall, a wand in one hand and the other is by his side. So he's kind of like looking ahead, foresight, planning. And from that, we've got the Three of Wands, where it seems as though keyword is established strength. So everything has come into motion, or the planning of a motion, or waiting for an expansion of what the vision was. We've got the Four of Wands and our Five of Wands. Four of Wands is perfect work. So the illustration of the perfect work that's been done, the setting of the foundation of that church there, the structure of it and the way things are set out in front. The Five of Wands is, keyword is swift. So you've got the pentagram shape wands burning in fire, but you've also got these like invisible hand tugging at different directions. So you've got a lot of indication of conflict and tension going on there. We've got our Six of Wands, 7 and 8. The 6, the key word for that one is victory. Parade being held for the man on his horse, being recognized for his efforts. But it could also be how he's taken on a challenge that nobody else wants to take. So that's why he's been cheered on for it. That's the way I see it. The Seven of Wands, a man clearly standing his ground in defense, standing in the face of danger, or being prepared and ready to defend himself and his surroundings in that one there. The Eight of Wands, keywords swiftness. So you have Eight of Wands, different sizes, long in length, and they come in from the sky. So it's indication of something happening very quickly in various ways. We've got our Nine of Wands, and then we've got our 10. Nine of Wands, keyword is what do you call it? Great strength, and you can see that by the man. He's injured. He's got his bandage on his head, but somehow, and then you've got the wands there still standing its ground. So you know he's still holding on. He's still going on at the very last minute. He still has a lot of stamina to still kind of get through to be successful. 10 of Wands, oppression, so the burden of the 10 that he's taken responsibility for. But you could see that there's a castle there not too far, so it's almost coming to an end as well. We go to our courts. We've got the princess and we've got the Knight of Wands. Princess of Wands, you've got flames underneath her, blending with her cloak as well and her red hair. With one in one hand, very powerful, visionary, burning with passion and energy is indicated here. So it could also show how quick-tempered she is, and that can get her into trouble. Knight of Wands, again, he's in flames, being part of the flames. He's all ready to go. The motion of his horse as well, you know, not holding back, really committed. We've got our Queen and King. The Queen and King looks absolutely amazing, showing the flames burning underneath each of them, but with different kind of like power animal highlighted as their inner strength, I suppose. You've got the black cat for the Queen there, and for our King we have the lion. So both of them are showcasing their strength and how fearless they can be and how confident they are. The King is very intimidating and at the same time an indication of a true leader. So it's very powerful overall. I love the way they've indicated the flames coming out of these characters. So that was our wands. We move on to look at our pentacle sets. So our first three cards, we've got the Ace, our 2, and our 3. So the Ace of Pentacles, we have a hand floating in the clouds holding a massive golden disc, coin, or pentacle, whichever you want to call it. Keyword is material source. So you have all of the support and means to bring anything into fusion, into reality that you may be working on or wish to undertake. The Two of Pentacles, woman balancing the pentacles carefully. And I love how you have the yin and yang symbol there of balance. But it's also important how to have balance, because you also have that at the background. You've got the boats kind of in balance. Our free keyword is material work. Again, traditional. It's all about cooperation, working together, teamwork, sharing of ideas to bring something together, everyone taking their part. We've got the 4 and the 5. The 4, the keyword is earthly power. The man is showing off his power or what he has. Everyone there, he's got it all on display, and he's also holding on tightly. You also got the symbol of the elements that's holding each of the coins up. The 5, wow. Material trouble is the keyword, and you could clearly see and feel it taking place. I mean, cold winter outside, barefoot, and yet the church inside is bright and warm, and how the Pentacles is kind of blocking the window, keeping everyone out. We've got the 6, 7, and 8. 6, keyword is material success. So you've got 2 beggars there in front of the woman who seems successful with a scale. She's giving one beggar coins and the other doesn't seem to be getting anything. It's all about the balance in the universe. To me, I see it as though she's giving out charity of her wealth, obtained from her success. Overall, you can see how the traditional symbolism is kept faithfully in each of these cards. The difference being, it's just well executed, I think. And the overall addition or the extra you get in the cards, which I've not really touched much on, I know, but you have like Earth, Sun, Mercury in the 8. And the 9, you have the Virgo symbol, the Moon, Venus, planet symbols. In our 10 here, we've got the Mercury and Pluto and Virgo as well. So you could see there, you've got the keywords, and then at the same time, you will get like the planetary sign. There is, however, no Hebrew names in the suits. I don't know if you noticed that, but all you will get is like the keywords, the planet correspondence, and you get these kind of questions that is asked of from each of those cards, or that you need to ask yourself. And you get this kind of overall transformation that needs to take place. So the things that you need to pretty much learn from each of these cards. I mean, so you're missing where you got in the major, you had quite a lot more symbolism and so many things going on. In the suits, it cuts it down just ever so slightly. It keeps certain aspects of it, wording and things to each particular card. So that's just something to bear in mind. But imagery itself, as you could see, it's got a story of its own. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. And I love how each of the court cards for each of the suits is nicely sort of like illustrated. It brings out a strong message. You get that clear understanding and indication, and that's being shown here with the king and queen. You'll have the queen here that looks a lot more nurturing, a carer of her kingdom, and the king looks more like a what's the word? A lot more manageable of his kingdom and status. So he knows how to manage his resources a lot more, whereas the queen is, the mother, the carer of her kingdom. It's nicely sort of illustrated there. We have our swords, and these are our last sets of cards. It's all about the mental aspects, like all of the others. We have some cards that will have the keywords, and others will have the wording of the actual card. We've got our Ace of Swords. The keyword, even if it's not displayed, is intellectual source. Similar to the others again, a hand always coming out of the cloud, indication of the source from heaven. You have 2 symbols, one planetary and one element. So you got Neptune and air. We've got the 2 of Swords. Keyword is peace. Planet corresponding is Moon, Uranus, and you also have the Libra sign. and the element of air again. Three of Swords, sorrow is the key word. Libra, Saturn, and air symbol. Naked woman curled up, and the heart is pierced with the three swords. 4, resting, Jupiter, Libra, and air. The knight taking a time out from his duties or resting in order to prepare for the next battle or mission. And in our 5, the 5 keyword is defeat. So you've got Venus, Mars, Aquarius, and the air symbol. Reminder that not all battles can be won, indicated by the other 2 men again, looking all defeated. Our next slot, 6, 7, and 8. The 6th keyword is earn success. Air, Mercury, Sun, and Aquarius. The rite of passage taking place in the cards. The travelers are looking to start new horizon, leaving everything behind them, shielded by the 6 of Swords. 7 is unstable effort. Air, Moon, Venus, and Aquarius. Looks like the man is stealing swords. Hidden agenda, deceit taking place. The 8 is shortened force, is the key word. Jupiter, Mercury, Gemini, and air. Bound by many straps, and the swords. Kind of bondage. Needs to look at alternatives. There are alternatives using one's senses. We got our 9, despair, and cruelty is the key word. Air, Mars, Moon, and Gemini. Waking up to nightmares. Heavy load of swords over your head. Message is to remember that nightmares are not real and only in your mind, not allowing it to trap us. 10, ruin, air, sun, Pluto, and Gemini. The ending, man facing down with 10 swords poking into him. Yeah, at the background you have the sun there that was kind of like rising as a new beginning. The old needs to die in order for the new to come in. Princess of Sword and the Knight of Sword. Research is the key word. She is in the air. She is the air of Earth as her elemental. Beautiful image of her high in the air, dressed white like the clouds. Our Knight of Swords, fast movement there going on, taking place. Keyword is activist. He is the air of fire as the element, Taurus and Gemini, rushing into action. The sense of impatience. And then we've got our Queen and King. Queen is the air of water, Virgo and Libra, and the King is air of air, Capricorn and Aquarius. Queen on her throne and the King in his chariot. Queen has a man head chopped off, very powerful and in control. The balance of her mind and her emotion. The King is more, well, comes across as a leader who is firm, clear, and very focused. That's what I get there. So that is it. That is all of our suit cards, and we're going to go on into looking at flip through of the cards. So enjoy. All right, guys. So in terms of what you get in the book, you've got your table of contents, front page. There's two part. One part is about the cards themselves. Second part is about the nature of tarot, which is all the history. You've got a section on unlocking the meanings of the heaven and earth tarot. That's at least 2 pages worth. How to use the description of the cards. Now, this section is important because it will be each particular section or meaning of the cards that would be put across to you to interpret or gain an understanding of the card that's come up for you. With that, we have on our majors, you have the numbers, the cards, naming the keywords, the Hebrew letters, and the Hebrew letter meaning. So you've got that only for the major cards. You won't have that for the suits or the court cards. And then again, same thing with the major cards. You've got the astrological correspondence of the planets, the elements, the signs, and all of these sort of things. In terms of the cards themselves, there you will have the number and naming of the card and a massive full page colored image for only the major cards, not the suits, of what the card will look like. And then those five sections about reading the card, you'll have an image as number one that will pretty much explain the image itself, what's going on in there. You'll have a heavenly interpretation of what the card is. And then you'll have an earthly interpretation, which, gives you the keywords, Hebrew meaning, correspondence. You've got the upright meaning and reverse meaning. And then you'll have particular questions that you need to ask yourself or further work with that card. And then you've got the overall transformation, how to use the energy of that card. And that's pretty much throughout for the majors, where you've got, again, number, word of the name of the card, full colored image, 10 times bigger than the actual card themselves. So you get to see all these little details that you may miss or not really see that clear in the card. So the book is great for that. And again, you've got all of your main section. You got what's in the image, heavenly meaning, earthly interpretation, questions about that card, and the transformation that you could apply or it relates to. So that's what you get in terms of meaning or how in depth the book is, and this is what the whole kit set is about. When it comes to our suits, however, we just get the cards and its keywords meaning. That's about it. And when you look at each particular suits, you won't have any image. So that's the only thing that would be missing, where you won't have that massive image, but you do get the same sort of like bits and section of understanding the cards. Maybe they don't have the Hebrew names, but everything else is still intact. And then you have a part 2 section of the card, which is, the book, which goes on about, the history of Toro, how it came together, the card numbers. So this is absolutely great for even beginners. So you get to learn the history, you get to learn about the elements, you get to learn quite a lot about the cards themselves. So if you're a beginner, this will also make a perfect sort of set for you. You've got various different spreads that's been explored, explained to you that you can use the normal 3. You've got your 4, and then it has a bigger sets where you could use, like the full 9 cards worth. And, it goes on explaining to you about your first reading, things you need to know about. And you get this section at the end where you got at least 4 pages worth of notes. So that was the book, and that is pretty much my flip through and close look at the Heaven and Earth Tarot. I absolutely love it. I've loved what they've done to it, the amount of in-depth information you get. The cards themselves has so much things in there. So I hope you enjoyed. Check out for the next one. Thank you.